Hey there, welcome back to the Healthy Church Staff Podcast. I'm Todd Rhodes, and we are on episode number 4 of our Silent Alarm series. 10 hard-hitting, hopefully hope-filled conversations about what's broken in the church staff pipeline and what you and your church can do about it. And today, we're going to tackle a hiring myth that's hurting a lot of churches more than they realize. And we're going to talk about the fantasy of finding a unicorn, finding the perfect candidate. Okay, the type. They're seminary trained, but also a compelling communicator. They're culturally savvy, but deeply theologically grounded. They're young enough to reach Gen Z and mature enough to win over boomers. They're a strong leader, a humble team player, a mentor. They're a visionary. They're a systems thinker. Oh, and they're willing to move across the country for about $45,000 or $55,000 and no housing allowance. This is a unicorn hire, and churches are wasting months, even years, holding out for them. We talked about this last week on the podcast, but let me say it again here very plainly. Your unicorn, your perfect candidate is not coming, but your next great staff member might be standing right in front of you if you change how you look at things. All right. The myth of the unicorn hire shows up in phrases like, we just want to wait for the right person. We'll know it when we see it. We just haven't found it. We haven't found the right fit yet. We're holding out for somebody really special. Now, are high character, high capacity, high alignment leaders out there? Absolutely. But are they applying to every new church job opening on churchstaffing.com? Nope, they're not. And are they going to be a perfect fit from day one? Also, nope. Are they likely to have every single attribute your search team is dreaming up on the whiteboard? Triple nope. But here's what happens while you wait for a unicorn. The position is going to stay open for a really long time, and your current team is going to carry the weight of that. Your volunteer morale drops because they have to step up and do the work of the youth pastor because there is no youth pastor. And believe it or not, people leave quietly. Volunteers leave quietly. Congregation members leave quietly sometimes. Sometimes staff leave quietly because they see no hope for getting any help on their staff. And your culture suffers, all because you're just chasing this fantasy of if we just find the perfect person, all of our troubles will go away. You're chasing this fantasy instead of investing in what's real. Here's your truth bomb for today. Perfect candidates and perfect unicorns aren't real. And holding out for one is usually just code for we don't really know what we're looking for yet. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the cost of unrealistic expectations. And in my work at Chemistry Staffing, here's what I'm seeing over and over again. Churches many times create impossibly long job descriptions with conflicting priorities. They want a creative visionary who loves administration. Good luck with that, right? They want someone experienced but not set in their ways. Again, opposing there sometimes. They want somebody who will challenge the team but not ruffle any feathers. Now, come on, right? They want someone who's led a church of 2,000 but is excited to move to a town of 800. Seriously, sometimes it happens, but it's very rarely the case. And when those candidates don't show up, they say, God must not be leading anybody right now. But often it's not a spiritual problem. It's more of a strategic one. So let me give some ideas about what you can do instead. Let's be constructive. And here's how to shift, okay? First of all, clarify your non-negotiables. What really matters? Character, theology, leadership style. Be honest. What do you have to have? What are your non-negotiables? What are your nice to have? And what are the things that you just absolutely have to have? You need to make the distinction between ideal and essential. Don't load every church hope into one hire. That's too much to put on one person. And even if you find somebody that you think is the perfect candidate, they're going to buckle under that pressure because that's way too much pressure for one person. Hire for trajectory, not perfection. You don't need a plug-and-play candidate. Are they teachable? Do they grow? can they lead with support? And widen the lens. Look at internal candidates and marketplace leaders and people who don't necessarily match your old mold but fit your mission. We tell churches all the time, we are surprised when we start a search for a church. We are often surprised at what we find and we love it when this happens, when we find somebody who doesn't necessarily fit the mold, but man, oh man, would they be a great addition to your staff if you just are willing to take a look. And you're going to have to invest in development. The best leaders often become great, but not arrive great, okay? Let me repeat that again because I goofed it up. The best leaders often become great. They don't arrive great. I goofed it up again. Man, build them up. And most importantly, ask, are we looking for someone to lead this role or to rescue our church? Because if it's the latter, no hire, as I said, will ever be enough. So here's your bottom line for today. This episode is based on the realities that I write in my new book, Silent Alarm. It's called The Quiet Collapse of the Church Staff Pipeline and How to Rebuild It Before It's Too Late. And if this struck a nerve, if you've been chasing that perfect candidate, that unicorn, or you're holding out for perfect in your search, I think this book will really unpack and give you ideas to give you a better framework for what hiring can and should be in today's church. And I'm pretty proud of it. It's my first book, and I'd love for you to have a copy. You can get your copy today at chemistrystaffing.com/silent alarm. You can order it over to Amazon. I'll probably have it tomorrow, and you can follow along as we continue on for our series of the rest of this week and into next week. Speaking of that series, tomorrow we're going to look at a painful irony. Even healthy churches are struggling to hire. And even if you've got a good culture and a solid team and fair pay, sometimes you still find that nobody's applying, and we're going to unpack why tomorrow, right here on the Healthy Church Staff Podcast on episode number 5 of our Silent Alarm series. And if you'd love to reach out to me and just ask me any questions or give me some feedback on today or the series or the book, I would love to hear it. Just be nice, right? You can reach out to me anytime, podcast@chemistrystaffing.com. We're here each and every weekday, Monday through Friday, with a brand new episode, something hopefully that you will find interesting in your journey as you serve the Lord in your church as a church staff. All right, we'll see you back here again tomorrow. Have a great day.